Hello, this is Max Thompson, and this is another little devlog update video. This one's just going to be a little quick one because, in terms of this update video, not much has changed since the last update video in terms of stuff that's been added, but what has been added is very important for future stuff. So what I'm going to show off today is the little hit detection system that I've just added. So like you can see from last time, I'm in the controller mode, walking around with a character. I've got the lock-on mode like I mentioned. I've also updated the little lock-on feature. So it now, when I attack without being locked on, I actually need to equip a weapon first. It auto locks on to the closest enemy, and then when I'm a certain distance away, it unlocks. I added this yesterday in terms of staying locked on, and there was a bug where whenever I was anywhere else after hitting that enemy, if I attacked after that, it would always lock back onto the enemy. So I just had to play around with the code for that, and it now works. Pardon me. It now works so that when I'm a certain distance away from that last hit enemy, it won't lock on. So that you can see there, I've now added a little sphere trace hit event system to the enemy's hits, or the player's hits, sorry. The location of this will change in the future once I've added the actual weapon saber code, which will be quite easy to implement. But for now, it's attached to the player's hand. But also, I've set up the code so depending on what animation is playing and what is actually being hit with the player, the trace will begin from that part of the player's body. So, for example, you can see here, I do a hit and it traces from the player's right hand. And what happens is the trace plays for the entire duration of the animation notify. So in the montage, I've set a little notification window, and it runs a hit detect event during that section, and if a hit result comes up during that, it stops checking for hits, because once you've hit, you don't need to check if you've hit again. If you weren't to do that, it would just send multiple hit results back, so the enemy would get hit multiple times, which you don't want. You just want them to get hit once and then done. So you can see here, it plays from my right hand, so I do hit, hit, and that's a good example. You can see there, it does the trace from the player's foot, because I've added a little socket to the player's right foot, and it will trace from there. I've also added one to the player's left hand. I both forgot which combo. Actually has a left hand attack, but there was one. Let me just filter through. I believe it was, yeah, that one. So it's heavy attack first into a light attack. So you can see there, it comes off with the left hand. I need to get a little combo cheat sheet written up somewhere. But you can see there, it traces a lot better. So instead of just tracing off the right hand on this one, it wouldn't have done anything. But instead, as it traces from the left hand, it will then hit from there, which is pretty good. So the reason this is sort of a major part, and I've decided to make its own sort of devlog update for it, is because this will help with the rest of the combat code. So like damaging the enemy, causing any hit events, so on play it'll do hit, and getting this implemented now as opposed to having to deal with it later in terms of the one hit code and done. It just makes it so much easier for future coding. And that's why I thought it was worth making a little short video about it, plus the little face enemy on hit without being targeted, which is a little update to add. But yeah, next steps will be actually adding the little save. I actually need to model that really quickly. Put that in the game, add the code, so when it equips, it attaches to the player. And then, yeah, there'll be a case of adding some damage, having some health for the enemy. But for this little demo, probably won't need to implement that too much, just have the variable there for future code, and then just have it as an infinite amount. And then it will be a case of, let's check my list, adding the effects, which will be quite easy to do, because now I've got the hit event, I can play the sounds on the hit, and also getting the little music in the background, and then potentially adding the special abilities and the combo as well. So actually, I needed to do this before I could do anything else. So yeah, this will now lead on to the combo system, and then the hit detecting the hit sound, sorry, and then everything else. So we're almost there, almost there. It's just some last little bits. Yeah, I've also just been running around dodging for like the past 10 minutes because you can get some good little speedrun parts with it, and I've noticed certain dodges go faster than others, so that's definitely something to change. But yeah, for now it's just a little speedrunning hack, you could say. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next little devlog update.